We got to come to points where we are good by ourselves, for ourselves. It's who we are. You don't begin to act bad because another person is acting bad. The greatest response to bad is good. The greatest response to somebody's wickedness to you is for you to still be the good person that you are. So you won't blame that woman. Maybe she's had experiences. She's a married woman. Maybe she's had friends who shared gory experiences of how bringing her 50 and the husband bringing her 50. The husband is probably taking the other 50 and giving to his side chick. You know, there are men that when you give your everything, they still would abuse you.
But in this case, the man was overstretching himself.
My point is, you would not blame the lady because she's probably is acting out her experiences. What she did, was it good? Oh no, it wasn't good. It wasn't the best thing to do. If you notice in that social media thread, she was asking for help. You know, Nigerians are not very kind with words, especially when Nigeria is now the poverty capital of the world. They kept dragging her and dragging her. But some of the kindest words that she ever received is, you can make it happen. You can mend your marriage. It has happened. It has happened. Now your husband knows, right? So what you do, you bring your 50 or you contribute. It all depends on what you agree on during the courtship, right? The ideal thing is the man is the sole provider and protector of the home. Giving a woman that responsibility kind of emasculates her a little bit. But we are modern day women. We're trained to not just sit at home, but to, you know, go out and work. So if the agreement you have with your partner is man brings 80, woman brings 10, so that it doesn't stretch her, so she can still be a lady. There's something about a man still giving you money even when you're earning. There's something about your husband still. Oh, look, because I mean, I feel it's romantic. I like that. You know,
how much I earn, I mean, be able to contribute.
It don't matter how much I earn. I want to use your money. I want you to take care of me, because I mean, that's how my daddy took care of me, right, as a young girl, because it gives me this feeling of, you are my Lord. I am submitted to you. I bend for you, so you take care of me. I would rather use the excess money I have to buy you land and not tell you, and probably give you a land document on your birthday. That's for my husband, right? Or to buy a land in the name of our child and not tell him until it's his birthday, right? So if the agreement is 80-20, then let's work at it. Men should not expect that women would become providers, because you see what, when the woman becomes a provider, it makes her a little masculine. It takes a lot for a woman. It takes a lot of fear of God for a woman who's earning so much and who's feeding you to respect you. That's common sense. It takes a lot for a woman that you've now turned into a man to be your provider, to feed you, and then still respect you, and then take care of your children, and still service you at night, and still go to work in this Lagos by 5 a.m. I mean, you know how it is in Lagos, even for men. With all the, you wake up at 5, you work, you get home by 10 p.m. or 11. Sure. There's hardly any time for you to even, you know, take care of your wife in the other room. By 4 a.m. you're back again. So you can imagine a woman doing all of that, and that's what we women in Lagos, we keep doing, especially for those who are married. So point is, that mistake has already been made, right? Now the husband knows, because there's something called forgiveness. He goes back into the relationship and tries to mend. It is not a ground for breaking up the marriage, especially when there are children. Because I mean, even if you go to the next woman, she might do worse. You know, that's the thing. She might do worse. So thing is, I mean, if that marriage can be mended, right? So if you ever have a stingy partner, what do you need to do?
Exactly.
You need to be patient.
I was going to ask you.
If you not keep answering the questions.
Yes, I was going to ask that question. That's nice.
She's
a journalist.
It's a lot of work. You got to be patient, and you got to love that person. Because love is the only thing that can keep you through the process.
But it's difficult to love a stingy partner.
That's the thing. That's why you have to love the person with the love of Christ, if the person is your husband.
Okay.
If the person, because it's in a marriage that, okay, there's nothing else I can do. If it's dating and you're sure that I can't deal with this, so you just don't worry about it, because you're not bound, right? And even if it's a relationship and it's someone that you know that the good outweighs the bad, then you probably want to start talking to the person. Let the person go through courses. Let the person talk with a therapist. You know, it can be a 3-month plan, and the person will begin to work. But if the person is a born-again Christian, then let the person just listen to messages and open his soul up to the Lord, you know, in that regard, and get help. I tell you something. So stinginess is not something that we do to in relationships alone. I realized that even in my relationship with God, when I give God my pocket, I fall in love with him more. You know why? Because you see, money is a thing in our lives. Especially if you live in Nigeria, where poverty rate is high. So you know that, and your father is not Dangote, or your father is not, you know, an Otedolo or something, and you have to work. So when you work and make the money the legit way, you realize that spending it is something that you have to be, you have to be circumspect about. Yes. So when you give your money, you know that thing about when people pay, they pay attention. When you begin to give me your money, Margaret, you begin to attach a lot of importance to me, because that's where your hard-earned money is. So when you begin in a relationship, when you begin to give your man, it's you saying, I value you beyond the normal. When you begin to give, you know, when he begins to give to you, have you noticed that when men give to you, they value you more? I mean, like when a man begins to invest in you, haven't you noticed that, you know, men, Igbo men especially, will train a woman in school, spend 4 years, and if that woman ever breaks their heart, they're as good as saying, I want to commit suicide. True. Why? Because especially for a man in the East, his money is a big thing, is his investment.
It's even said to know the riches of an Igbo man. Look at his wife.
You can imagine. So, yes, the woman is the woman's, the woman is the man's jewel. The woman in the eastern setting of Nigeria is the man's investment. So what are we saying? When a man invests in you, especially, I mean normal men, I don't mean sugar daddy men. I mean men, Lagos men who are good, who are hustling for their money, who are earning their monies, who are not just some money misroad kind of men, right? So when a man begins to invest in you, it's not just monetary investment. It could be working on your vision. It could be working on your psyche. It could be working on your look. When he's giving, he's not stingy with investing in you, because that's all giving is giving. It's not just monetary, not giving monetarily alone that is stingy, right? When he begins to invest in you, when he begins to build you, he values you. And it is what you put value on that you put your money in, right? So if the person is, I mean, if you look at it, and I think I was trying to say that if you are ever going to be with someone who's stingy, then you got to be patient. If you want to be with a person, if it's a marriage, you got to be extra patient, and you got to pray. If your man or your woman is open to talking to therapists and getting help, because like I told you, it could be his childhood experience. It could be his last marriage. It could be his relationship experience. It could be his parents. It could be that the father was always giving and giving and giving to the mother, and the mother was not appreciative. So it could be their past, right? For other people, it could be him saying, I don't care about you. Can you take a walk already? So please take a walk already.
I like that.
But it even said that nobody is stingy. It's only the value they attach to you that makes them give to you. Because a man can be stingy to you, but it's very...
And that guy's going to give me a lot of money. And that guy's going to give me a lot of money.
And he's begging Mary, please, can I take care of you?
And can I tell you something? That's and I'm telling him, no. Guess what? He's begging me, can I take care of your hair? And I'm like, no, I got my own money. And he feels even more challenged to do that. You know, like she said, what one man is to another woman is probably and the opposite he is to just another woman. It all depends on where you are. It's like whether it's you as a girlfriend or you as a boyfriend, it depends on the value that the person attaches to you. And please, there's something, please, stinginess is not something to cope with. Because you see, if he's doing it in the relationship or in the courtship and he's not changing, this is the reason you will give birth. And he would abandon you in the hospital and expect you to pay. Especially if you have the tendency of taking care of yourself. You know, financially independent women, they have a harder time.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, we do have a harder time. I thank God I'm not. I refuse to be a financially independent woman.
We have to wrap up the segment right now. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. You literally allow us to ask so much questions because you were proactive.
Yeah, you were proactively answering.